This is the Gaming Rev, and today we're looking at Commonhood, a game set in a small town. It doesn't tell you where, however the storyline I think does. Basically, you are living in your parents' house, they become sick, pass away sadly, and with the medical bills you can't afford to pay, you're bankrupted and you're kicked out of the house. I have to give you a warning, this game is in beta testing at the moment, so the current gameplay may not reflect the final version of the game, so please don't pass it off just because it doesn't look polished at the moment. Any problems mentioned in the videos might not be present in the final release, and future videos will reflect that. I didn't choose to leave my home, but I also didn't choose to start from scratch. I always thought that everything was going to be alright, that this kind of thing didn't happen to people like me. After my dad passed, I found no way to pay back the hospital bills. Nobody seemed to care. They were ready to take everything away. I needed to find a new start and build something that they could not touch. And I didn't want to depend on them anymore. I couldn't leave my home before seeing the place both my parents worked. This factory fills the memories of my childhood. But it has been abandoned for years now. I found out that I wasn't the only one attracted to the factory though. I suppose a proper introduction is necessary. So as the game starts, our young homeless friend has come to the factory where her parents used to work and meets a number of people based here. The game is a mixture of survival, management, exploration, and base building. You move here with basically a tent, some machinery, some bits and pieces, and your goal is to create a community, a neighbourhood, only in this case the Commonhood, for the people that live here, to provide them with food, shelter and various other amenities. The game itself is quite straightforward in many ways. Obviously, as I say, this is a beta, so things are liable to change throughout the course of the game, or rather the game's development. As you can see, it's simple movement controls, WASD to move around, mouse to look and interact with things. Drag and drop for your inventory, which is again quite simple. So we're going to head inside, and you can see on the left hand side there's a heads up display which gives you your current mission, and at the moment it's talk to Ash, talk to Rhett and talk to Mo. They're the three initial characters that you'll be dealing with, and they'll give you a little bit of background about the Commonhood, about the people that are here, and about what you need to do next. Now as you look around, you will find various resources that you can collect, and you can use equipment to machine those into usable materials. So for instance, raw lumber that you find, old broken bits and pieces, can be turned into new 4x4 posts of wood. So in your bag you have various options. Your backpack will give you access to obviously the items that you're carrying, research, your current mission, and the people that are a part of your community. So here's Red, let's talk to him. And again, he will tell us a little bit more about the place, that people move in and out. Obviously, looking at homelessness, and the game does have quite a social, moral message. Coming from the UK and from most civilized countries, the thought that somebody could be made homeless because they can't afford to pay medical bills seems absolutely bizarre. And yet, of course, that's the position some people find themselves in. We tend to view homelessness as being through drink, drugs, choice at times. And this looks at it from a different perspective. This actually looks at it as people that have no choice in the matter and are forced into this position. So I think from that point of view, it's actually quite a good game because it opens your eyes to different things. So Mo, I'm guessing from the way he's talking, is a young lad, probably similar age to Nikki, the protagonist. And he'll tell her that he's a farmer here. Once you start putting the tools and so on down, he will then come and give you your first proper mission. Perhaps I should set up a temporary shelter here and see what I can find. So we're going to be given, as soon as the conversation finishes, some items. A tent, father's books, a table saw, a generator, some cash. And that will help us set up our own little home base. So there we go. I want a shovel as well to clear debris. So the inventory system's nice and simple. You've got a large inventory. You can drag items into the numbered displays. If you want to use an item or place it, you press the number key correlating to that item, and then you place it. So I've got a tent in number 1, my father's books in 2, the table saw in 3, and the generator in 4. Now at the moment I'm not going to put all of it down. I'm going to leave the generator for now, because once you place it, it starts using gas to power it, and it will keep running even if you're not using the tools. Now you also only have a limited amount of time every day that you can do things. You wake up at about 8:30 in the morning, and you have until 9 o'clock at night to do whatever you need to do in that day, whether it be grow food, manufacture things, whether you need to just go and clear an area of debris. So I put my tent down, I put my father's books down, and that will help with research later on in the game. You have to unlock different levels of technology to be able to do certain things. So for instance, to use concrete you need to research it, hence your father's books, and all that takes time. I'm going to put the table saw down as well, but as I say, not the generator just yet. Because what I really want to do is sort of start collecting some resources together. So obviously a red item, you can't place it. When it's grey you can, you just press left click and that will place it down. Right click removes things, and I'm going to be brutally honest now, that can be a pain in the butt. But I'll tell you more about that in a different video when I'm talking about building items within it. So in a second, Mo is going to give us our mission to do. Now the help menu is quite handy. Whenever something new crops up, it does flash up the press the H key to tell you about it. However, it's quite easy to miss some things. I'd missed pressing R was what you use to rotate items, and I had to go back a couple of times and actually find it where it was in the list of help items. The keyboard commands didn't have R listed as rotate item. So there are some little things like that, niggly things, that I'm sure will get picked up on and will get implemented before the final release, hopefully. Now the graphics obviously aren't brilliant. I don't know whether they will improve or not, but I don't think the purpose of the game is to have an amazingly graphic game here. This is something about management and colony building rather than wanting to have a sort of a first-person shooter. You can tell they're humans, you can tell that's an object, and that's enough. So the mission is to collect, to make 40 4x4s. So I'm going to go to the raw wood stockpile and collect all the bits from there. And I'm actually going to go and explore this side of the building a bit more, see what's outside, see what's lying around, and what's up these stairs that we've just come past. I've got about 4 hours left on the day, so I've not got long left to do much. But obviously, if I can just have a quick nose round, familiarise myself with where I can find the bits and pieces I need for various things. Again, sometimes you'll get crates like this which hold various different bits and pieces, more high-tech items. You can find plenty of wood, fair amount of raw metal. You can find soil lying around that you can collect. But certain things you can't craft, you have to find them. And they are essential for sort of the next stage of the game. I'm just going to go down here, see if I can actually find anything I actually want down here. No, that looks clear. So we'll go back upstairs again. As you can tell, we're at 6 o'clock already, so an hour's passed since I started looking for resources. There we are, get some more stuff. So time does pass fairly quickly. I think when I was looking at it, the average day lasts about 12-13 minutes of playtime. So you're not looking at very long to do things. Now once you've got people that have joined your community, you can set them tasks, but how much they like you will determine how much they're prepared to do for you in a day. So if you've got people who aren't overly bothered about you but they want to help, they might do 3 or 4 hours work a day. Looking at the way it works, that can increase quite considerably, but it's getting people to actually want to support you. Well, 7 o'clock. Let's grab some more wood and then head downstairs. So as you can see from looking at the floor, the areas with the yellow borders to them are the areas you can build in. You've got the one sort of straight where my tent is, and then you've got a couple of others, but they've got rubbish built up on them, some debris in there, so we're going to have to clear that before we can actually do anything useful with those areas. That's the food storage, that's where the community's food goes. So as you grow stuff in farming plots, either you or the people that are part of your community can move the food from those plots into a communal storage to try and make sure that people don't starve to death. Now, I do have to say, some of the things can be a little bit confusing. Clearing debris, you press and hold with the left mouse button. But for other tasks, it's a simple sort of click here, and that's it. But again, I'll come and clear more of this in the next video as I try and make some space for a farming area. It's nearly 9 o'clock, there we are. You're getting tired, so it's time to head off to bed. Now when you go to sleep in your tent, all you need to do is left click on the tent, choose sleep or rest, I can't remember which it is. Left click, sleep. And that will put you to sleep. You'll see a picture of you sitting outside your tent for a little bit. And then when it gets to about 9:30, you'll see the progress you've made during the day. And that's about it. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. And we'll be carrying on in our next video looking at basic building, farming and clearing debris. Take care and see you soon.